Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've got a few pre-show notes for you. First, a reminder. All of the content we produce is available on our website at finalshowfilms.com, as well as youtube.com/senstaku, senstaku.podbean.com, twitch.tv/senstaku, and on iTunes. We are only able to do the things we do thanks to the kind support of our Patreon donors. We give a special shout out to our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic and Cat Waterflame. If you'd like to support us that way, be sure to check it out. Secondly, a thank you to the folks over at 411mania.com. They produce articles and content related to wrestling, MMA, movies, music, and gaming. Go check them out. We appreciate their support as well. And lastly, be sure to subscribe, comment, and rate, if possible, wherever you listen to or watch our content. It helps us know what you like, what you don't like, and helps us make more content. Feedback is always appreciated. With all that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
I'm gonna lag, so I have to limp in here.
No.
Eventually they'll stop talking, chat, and I can do my thing.
No, we won't.
No,
Have you not learned?
You have to throw things at us. Are we live now?
Yes, we are.
We are live.
You said throw things at you.
You did actively tell him to do it.
Sure. I made it through the whole show without having something thrown at me, only to get something thrown at me now.
During the epilogue.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back
everybody.
to Deadlands Hunters Society, episode 13. I'm John, the Game Master for the evening, and as you can see, my hair has evolved from punk rock GM to exiled Italian prince. And so, with me today is our very own fairy princess Holly.
No. Come up with something else, because no.
It doesn't matter. Just
Come up with
introduce yourself.
something else, because no.
Not fairy princess Holly.
I'm Holly. I'm playing Gilda. She's a dwarf something. Gunslinger adept.
And our fairy godmother Austin.
Hello! I'm Matisse Dubois, French nationalist, explosives expert, potentially a terrorist, and incredibly feminine. I said I was French, so you know.
Yep, that's fair.
And I'm married to this.
You did.
You make choices.
And our fairy prison guard William.
Why couldn't I have gotten that one?
I'm William and I'm playing Cadmus, the Dwarven Rigger.
And our fairy
Betrayed?
prisoner
No.
Zach.
Mine now.
I'm Zach, and I'm playing Cassio Montag, the guy who has no combat skills, so he kind of tries to do other things.
And our normal godmother Stan.
Yes, exactly. Hi, I'm playing Eon, playing Elf Mage.
All right, and when last we left our hunters, they had just finished going through the mad laboratory of what is apparently a man-made technomancer AI god hybrid. There's a lot of confusion as to what they did, why they did it, and how they did it.
But there's no confusion as to the result.
You know, they
It was a
did
mistake.
Having set the entity that referred to itself as Janus free by killing it, which, you know, as things go, is a satisfying way to set things free. They have made their way back to the top of the shaft that they descended down into to acquire what's the thing that you guys went after? I completely forget the
Something
name.
Fabricator?
Fabricator.
Right?
Yes, the fabrication
Fabric-
unit that they went after. So at the top of the hole, you guys have yourselves a spaceship that can carry you a slight ways, but not all the way back to the actual big spaceship, and a fabrication unit.
Well, I suppose the only thing left to do at this point is to get on our way.
Also, did any of you actually take a trophy photo of the dead god and send
Yes.
it back to
Yeah. Matisse just kind of leaves his trophy running.
them? We killed a god. Rank up, bitch.
We ought to be rank 1 by this point.
How did he die?
Combination of him hacking, you wrestling his astral form, her shooting his physical form, and him blasting his astral form.
Well, one of us was actually trying to solve the puzzle boss.
And succeeding. He was removing power sources, which was weakening his physical form.
One of us was like,
All of you
there's
were
a
doing
puzzle
things.
boss. I'm gonna go puzzle this.
Because it turns out I'm the guy that solves the puzzles. You are the people that just kind of beat things up.
Well, through a combination
Matisse
of...
knows one way.
Through a combination of
Sorry,
Cassio Montag's
most
puzzle ingenuity, Matisse's raw wrestling ghosts ability, Eon's raw blasting ghosts to hell ability, Cadmus's ability to hack things, and Gilda's ability to shoot things, you all managed to take him down.
You killed Gilda's raw gun.
That's what happens when you fight a boss on 3 separate
My gun
planes.
is raw.
Yes.
Everybody gets to be part of the fun.
And yeah, you're back at the top of the tunnel. Comrade looks at... So I imagine you're going to have to find a way back to your vehicle. You probably have enough raw materials to do something with that, though. He says, pointing at the fabrication unit.
Given that we're surrounded by raw materials.
Yes. Well then, I will see you all back at the ship. Enjoy your ride. He gets in it. Takes off.
Honestly, with this unit, I could probably build us a new vehicle.
And as he flies off into the distance, the little twinkly star that he vanishes into the horizon in is red and 5-pointed.
And it has a sickle around it for some reason.
Defying all logic. We've been playing with the exhaust port on this thing.
So how long is it going to take us to rebuild that vehicle?
Honestly, would it be faster to just fabricate a new one than to rebuild
No.
the one that was broken?
It would not.
All
This
we need
thing-
to
this
do
thing is like-
repair the engine block.
This thing is a very advanced 3D printer. Think of how long it takes a 3D printer to make anything.
Alright. How long would it take to build an engine block?
Less time than it would take to build a whole car.
Okay.
We would have to print an engine block for a new car. So,
Exactly.
that amount of time plus the rest of the car. Which we have to print out in pieces.
Well,
Did you just say pimp out?
I know I wasn't the only one who heard that, right?
Print!
Okay, you heard it too.
I heard pimp out.
Pimp
I heard like
Just like pause for a minute away from your
Just everyone stops. Because what the fuck did he just say?
Just
Print.
pimp out.
I think your accent needs
Just
retooling.
because we are using this inferior language.
I think your accent needs a little bit of retooling.
It has been 3 weeks, and we are in an English play.
that's right.
That is right.
Alright, I'll get down to fabricating a new engine block.
No, you're not good. I am not saying that we are not going to do that as well.
So what are you feeding into the manufacturing thing?
Well, let's see. Isn't there a bunch of steel rebar around here?
I'm gonna feed that, like, golem that Janice built into it.
I'm half tempted to feed the dwarf into it just to see what happens.
Which dwarf?
So you open up. So yeah, you go over
The
to
one
this,
that's made of metal.
you go over to this manufacturing unit. Give me a computer's roll. Give me a computer's roll because you haven't operated this thing before.
It's you against
I mean, we could,
dwarves.
feed the panther into it so that, we don't get blown up again.
I feel like you would get blown up trying to do
Would you
that.
like to die?
Would you like to
That's why
get
I would
blown
like
up
to have
in
somebody.
the
That's why I would like
process?
someone else to do it.
In and out of game?
That is Holly's favorite gun. You're not taking it away from her.
You don't touch Holly's guns.
4 successes.
Yeah. So so while you guys are having that conversation, Akamas goes over, lifts up a panel, plugs into it, and this large rectangular, like coffin-like device just opens up and folds out into what looks like a mechanic's bay that was just neatly folded up into this giant box. And a little platform extends out, and you sort of get the feeling that you were supposed to put whatever materials you want reshaped onto the platform.
I start hunking bits of the golem onto the platform.
I'll start helping.
And so these like sort of 6 little robotic arms just sort of encircle the object, and lasers start blasting into it, slicing bits off. Claw arms start grabbing and restructuring, and it basically have you ever seen somebody take apart a Rubik's Cube? It's basically doing that to this hunk of metal. Taking it apart, pulling pieces out, slicing bits off, heating them up, remolding them, and just like going to town on this piece of metal. And after about 25 minutes, you have a reconstituted engine block and some bits of spare parts.
Well, that was efficient. Now we need to get this engine block to the vehicle.
I go pick it up.
Pick it up, and once the table is cleared, it folds back down into a rectangular box.
How big is the rectangular box?
Bigger than you.
We'll pick it up with the van. So, who is staying with this to protect it, and who is going with me to the van?
I kind of have to install the engine.
You can stay here and protect this. I start walking.
If it explodes in your face, I'm not saving you.
It wouldn't be the
Is
first
anyone
Is anyone coming with me?
is anyone
I'll go
going with
him.
Matisse?
I'll go with him. Just to
Eon goes with Matisse.
those three and those two. Okay.
All right, so two of you go to the thing that you hit. You start walking.
Okay. Walk, walk, walk.
Give me perception checks.
Yeah, I don't
It's
see a
okay
thing.
if Matisse dies.
I probably don't either.
Absolutely.
This is not.
If he dies, no.
If he dies, you're down the healer.
Yeah.
But see, we're headed back to the Deadlands, so we get a new healer there.
But he's been pretty nice.
I got 4 successes.
Oh, there you go.
All right,
I got one.
one success. All right, so as you guys are
Yay.
going back to the car, you see nothing
Awesome.
because you are in an irradiated, bombed-out zone that nothing lives in.
I'll take it.
But we get hit in the back of the head.
An actual
You see nothing. That doesn't mean nothing's there. You just see nothing.
a robot ninja. No, wait.
We already fought those.
He did. More. I have no idea how many they have. No. Yeah, so you make it back to the car, and you are presented with a car that has a shot-up engine block, and you have an engine block.
I installed the engine block.
Give me a auto mechanics roll.
Please let this be the glitch. The critical glitch.
How about 5 successes? No, 6 successes.
All right. Yeah, you managed to swap out the
I was
engine
so
block.
hoping.
You sort of, because you're a troll, you're very physically powerful. So you sort of go in there
Because I'm a troll who
Just-
is obsessed with my
with
muscular looks.
with your bare hands. You just sort of wrench loose the lug nuts that are holding it in, lift the engine out with one hand, dump it behind you, pick the other one back in, boom. Click, 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 tie it all together.
I mean, even if he had critically glitched, what's the worst thing that could happen? It blow up in his face?
Yes.
It wouldn't be the first thing.
And then I just take the time to, instead of printing out an engine block, just print out a vehicle instead, because obviously he's going to break them when he takes them up there.
Yep.
I'm going to drive this vehicle back.
Give me a piloting aerospace. I think was it aerospace was the
That was
No, it's ground.
That's the ground? Yeah. You're in piloting ground.
Aerospace is for spaceships.
That's right.
Alright, so I need that dice, and then a stupid number of these dice.
Aerospace is for the fighter jets.
That's right.
You want to let me drive?
Yes, let Eon drive.
No.
Let him drive with both
Do you
his
have
dice.
any piloting skill?
No.
He can roll both
Why do
his
I need
dice
that?
very effectively.
I mean, there's nobody else around. I can't hit anybody.
It's true. It's
Can
true.
you beat my 9 successes?
No.
I'm driving.
Yeah, so after about an hour, the hover car comes back into view
And we drive by.
with Matisse. You drive by into the pit that's right behind them and
Yeah,
fall.
let's not play that game.
I mean, I'd let you.
Just, you know, pull one of those, stunt driver parallel parking maneuvers where the back just is right up against the thing.
Yeah, no. If you were to drive past them into the hole, they would stop hearing your screams before you hit the ground.
Hey, I wouldn't scream.
I'd be passed out.
You're just like, composure check. Nailed it!
Just silently falling, staring at the ground. Anyways,
Jump out,
Ground,
levitate
I have
myself.
come for you.
so yeah, you
Very quickly.
have very fucking quickly. So yeah, you have brought the vehicle to the unit.
Alright. Open up the back of the vehicle.
And place unit in the vehicle.
Load the vehicle on. Load the thing on.
And now that side of the vehicle is slightly lower.
That side of the vehicle's on the ground.
It's not.
It's not designed to carry something this big.
All right, let's print out some mods to this vehicle.
You made it an SUV.
Yeah. All right, so do we just need what would increase the propulsion on these repellers?
More of them. You could theoretically increase the power of each individual hover disc.
But it'd be easier to make
but
more.
to do that, you need to either manufacture better hover discs or increase the amount of power they're drawing from the battery.
So let's just pull a hover disk off, put it in there to scan it, and then print 4 more of them.
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm gonna work on that.
So yeah, give me a computer's check for you, since you haven't used it yet either.
A computer's check?
Yeah,
to use
to operate the machinery.
Oh.
I'm just standing off to the side, letting him try it.
I can roll a number of dice.
It's a computer that makes hardware.
They were both successes.
Yay! So yeah, it's not that complicated. It is designed so that a monkey could use it. You just happen to be that monkey.
Yeah. A French monkey can use it. To be fair, I'm more of a gorilla.
So you go over. I know it's in English, but that looks like.
Let me push the make
scan.
stuff button.
Click.
When in doubt,
It scans
press the big green button.
it scans the disc.
Print.
You take it off so that you don't turn it into itself.
Yeah.
Get some more materials.
Yeah,
Put it
go
on.
grab some rebar.
Oh, that'd be
Ding.
fun. How about we duplicate this whole thing just so we can see what happens when it's pulled up into itself?
Start taking it apart. About halfway through, it stops, and a print on a screen prints out going need rare earth elements.
Rare earth elements.
It needs gold for circuitry.
Or platinum.
Well, let's see. Let me go see if I can find a jewelry store.
Look around. There's a fuck ton of nothing.
I mean, it depends on what exactly these elements are supposed to be. How about we check out what the elements are supposed to be first?
Yeah, is there a menu for clarification?
Yeah, it needs like gold and platinum or anything that's any of that sort of conductive metals for the circuitry.
Okay. Just making sure it wasn't some kind of,
Like uranium?
Well, that would be really
Hey,
convenient.
that'd be really easy. Like, we need to find irradiated material. Well,
Yeah, it needs something that it can turn into circuitry, because the rebar is just the metal. It needs.
All those computers downstairs. We can go back on the lift and.
oh, is the lift up right now?
I mean, yeah, because we brought it up.
Yeah, you brought it up with you.
Oh, yeah, no.
We can go down there and get anything we want. We don't have to go all the way to the bottom either if there's other levels.
I don't know if this is a freight thing. It's meant to go all the way to the bottom, I think.
Yeah, there are no other levels either. So.
Let me go rip up some half
so you go down there,
some computers, and
start ripping up stuff, just trudging it back over to the thing. You get a ton of material. You can get a ton of materials out of this. The only thing that really concerns is how much of it you want to leave intact for any research teams to follow.
right now, right now I'm just grabbing.
I mean, probably the computers we can pretty much
Yeah, leave
take,
the
because we got all the files off of those that were important.
Well, right now
Yeah, we can
I'm
mostly
taking
run certificates.
a lot of your more basic circuitry items, and then I'm also ripping out one of these golems to take back just for scanning purposes.
Yep. So yeah, take it all back up there, throw on some computer stuff, and it incorporates it in. After about an hour or so, you've got 4 more hover disks.
Install.
Turn it on. It's drawing more power from the battery than normal, but it does lift off. You get the feeling, those of you that are auto mechanics, get the feeling it's going to have a greatly reduced distance with the extra thing, but it will be able to lift a lot more.
How do we recharge our batteries?
Mostly you've been doing it with solar energy.
Okay.
Cadmus designed a sort of a solar energy feeder. But it still takes time. So
Yeah.
with the previous amount, it had enough energy that it would just constantly circulate as long as you were driving. But with the extra
Basically,
pull,
no driving at night.
yeah, with the extra pull, you're not going to be able to take those longer hauls.
I'm going to fabricate a backup battery.
All right, yeah, throw some more materials on. Secondary battery.
Actually,
That one can be charging while the main one is drawing, and then if we have to drive at night, we swap them out. So vice versa.
also, I can just go down and I can grab a bunch of those truck batteries out of the trucks.
Theoretically. Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah.
While he's doing the complicated solution, I grab like half a dozen truck batteries.
You end up having a good amount of batteries at roughly the same time.
Yeah, I only needed to make one extra.
I grabbed 6.
A two battery
Because-
cycle will run perfectly efficiently.
There's efficiently, and then there's the French way.
You have to be more than efficient in this economy.
Yeah.
So,
Also, in case I decide to chuck a battery at something.
Because you would.
After rigging it to explode, of course.
I mean, yeah.
Well, most
A
of
battery acid's not useful if it's not outside of the battery.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. While we're going, if this dude is driving, I'm going to be rigging one of these batteries to do exactly that because
Battery acid bomb. All right, give
Yes.
me a explosives check.
yeah. It's a little late for it now, but is there a specialization in demolitions for jury rigging?
Yes.
I should have had that.
Should have.
Oh well.
Think about it for when we come back.
Will do. In the meantime, 4 successes should be enough
Yeah, you make a
to not kill myself.
you jury rig a battery acid bomb that won't explode in your hands
Awesome.
or on anybody else.
I wanted to explode on anyone else.
I mean, accidentally on anyone else
I wanted to explode accidentally on the dwarf.
while he's driving.
Nah.
Just eat a hole through the entire front end
While
of the car.
he's sleeping. I mean, we've got a fabricator, man.
So we can team up and just take him down.
Are you sure?
Yes, the Panzer will kill him. As will the sniper rifles, funnily enough.
Like seriously.
And both of us have those.
If you start going at
with
him,
minus
Gilda
10
will-
AP?
Gilda's got your back.
How many dice do you roll to absorb with minus 10 AP, Austin?
26.
Hey, better than 36.
I have some body and armor.
What?
That's what trolls do. They're tough.
Yeah.
Next time, I'm going to make him make not a troll.
I wasn't even trying to break it, but trolls are just a little bit.
They can be. No, trolls can definitely be built to be
And
broken.
this isn't even the broken troll, man. If I'd had a combat axe and was actually trying to wreck people in combat,
Oh, yeah.
You would wreck people in combat.
and had like military grade armor, because I don't have military grade armor.
Yep. Anyways, you guys continue driving. It's going to be a few
I'm just
days.
going to sit in the back seat and I'm going to cast a performance spell and watch old reruns of old 1930s pie fights.
Cast a spell.
7 successes.
So behind you guys, you you turn around and look. You see in miniature illusion.
It's Soupy Sales and Frank Sinatra and what was his name? Sammy Davis Jr. having a pie fight on stage.
And you see that all in miniature, as if it was being performed by like small action figures of these people brought to life, just on a little platform in front of him.
And I'm just giggling. You guys keep driving. I can't see anything out the window anyway.
That happens. After a couple days, you guys find yourself back at
You can find that on YouTube too.
After a couple days, you find yourselves back at the spaceship. Spaceship has been extricated from the ground. It is now currently sitting flat, and you can see this several mile long, basically wall in front of you, cutting off any attempt to go around it because it's so fucking massive. And now that you can sort of see it fully, you see the various cannon batteries that you guys test fired previously. Just working up, down, left, right. Looks like they're calibrating the aiming systems of it currently.
One of them goes off.
Let's get out of the way of these calibrations.
Oops, killed my teeth. Let's go on.
You have a 4 mile long wall in front of you. How are you getting out of the way?
4 mile.
How do we get out of the way? This thing's going to end up floating above Deadlands. We might as well just ride it back.
This will be the new Maginot Wall.
Yes. Whatever that is.
As you guys approach, you see one of the lower deck hangar bays is open, and you see people inside working on the remaining spaceships that weren't shot and blown up into a mountain.
Ironically, not my fault this time. A lot of things
But
are.
I regret nothing. Let's go in.
And you guys pull in, and you see people there. Oh, hey, waving hello as you guys approach. They've been busy, it looks like. A lot of things that were... Previously, when you guys came through here, there were lots like panels that were disengaged and wires hanging out. All the paneling has been put back up in place. The lights are all working. Several of the holes have been patched. And you guys are on the ship. What are you doing?
Who said hey?
Just one of the engineers.
We return triumphant.
Okay.
Is in. We have triumphed.
Triumph is a British car.
Yeah, that's true. Also, yes, that's what triumphant means.
Yes.
He just has like a clipboard with stuff on it. It's like he was just saying hi to be polite. And it's just
I do not think you understand the
I'm heading down.
ramifications of what we have done.
I'm heading down to the bridge.
Gilda's
Up to the
going
bridge
to
now.
Congress.
As I walk
Anything to
past
get me
him,
away from Matisse.
While they're going away, I'm going to go back to the truck.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab if there's any fabric in here. I'm going to grab a whole bunch of fabric, and I'm going to fabricate the largest French flag with this fabricator unit.
there's not a lot of fabric in the truck. You guys haven't been picking a lot of that up.
No, in the spaceship.
Oh, in the spaceship.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now that we're back
not
to
a lot
the
of-
no, I was like, we probably couldn't do that before, but now, like, I'm sure there's uniforms or stuff.
Yeah, there's uniforms and things. There's not a lot of like fabric because it's
I know.
been eaten. But
I will make do.
all right. So you run around grabbing some of these spare uniforms that
It's
are.
a French flag made out of pleather.
It's a French flag made out of radioactive proof and virus suiting.
Yeah, basically, you get about 6 enviro suits that have been
Lead-lined nylon weave.
that have been freed from their storage units. Some guy, as you're walking through, wait, we need those. Okay. 6 less than I originally wrote.
I ask you what you're doing, and I assume you tell me exactly what you're doing.
No, I don't. I didn't go to the fabricator.
Wait,
Yeah, you go to the fabricator.
what exactly are you doing with the enviro suits exactly?
Waiting for a command.
I insert the specifications of the French flag.
I look over his shoulder.
I then grab just enough metal poling to make like a, let's say a 75-foot tall flagpole.
You only do it one thing at a time. So
Oh yeah, no. Like I'm gathering that while this is chilling.
About an hour later, the 6 enviro suits have been reduced to a nylon lead-lined, radioactive, and environmentally sealed French flag.
I climb up the ship and mount it.
You climb up the ship with the flag, and someone comes down. What are you doing?
I don't need to answer that question. I have the French flag.
You know that's not going to stay on. Low Earth orbit has a tendency to rip things off. You mounting it? Yep, you mounted it.
I've got my welding torch.
All right. You mount the flag. You're watching him mount the French flag to the side of the spaceship.
I
don't.
I'll save the rant on nationalism. I just go back.
He wouldn't
inside.
comprehend what you were saying anyway.
All right. Meanwhile, inside, Cadmus, Gilda, did you go with Cadmus?
Yeah, I won't have it.
Those of you that went to the cockpit, find yourselves in the cockpit where...
Well, technically it's a bridge because it's not just one pipe.
That's true. It's the bridge, where a series of engineers are sort of testing out thruster controls and the battery array. One of them looks at their screen, goes, "The targeting computer's gone dark."
What's up?
I don't know. 'Cause look, you go over and the screen is just blank. Or
Do I
like black.
see fabric? Do I see fabric
It's just
in the
black.
room?
You can't see anything.
Did you just weld a French flag to a targeting system?
I don't know if it's maybe there's something blocking it.
Can we get cameras on the outside looking in that direction?
Not yet. No, none of the external cameras are working. I guess. I mean, the easiest thing would just be to fire. I guess. Let's see.
Sure. Hit
Hold on.
the gun.
Give that to John. There's an alliance.
Bing!
Kill that.
It's okay.
That's fine.
So it's like, sure.
So-
you can.
Killed the
Yeah.
world.
Okay. Well.
Aim
we'll,
high. Try not to hit anything.
Yeah. We'll use one of the other computers that's not blocked and try to target. So on the outside, as you're watching Matisse now climbing back up with the Soviet Union flag
Oh, shoot it, please.
and mounting it up as well.
It's slightly shorter.
It's slightly shorter. Mounting it up as well towards the bottom of the French flag. Just a laser beam erupts out through it, blasting through the bottom of the French flag and streaking off into the sky. Matisse, you look over and see.
I have a fabricator.
Just below, basically almost even to where you had shortened the Soviet Union flag to, the French flag is now just gone.
I have a fabricator, yo. There's no problem.
Back in the cockpit. Oh, that cleared it.
Perfect.
All right, sweet. All right, well,
I could make
what that is.
1,000 metaphors around this, you realize.
This goes on for like 10 minutes. Oh, the instruction's back. Fire again.
No, it takes longer than that for him to. And
Clearly,
also
the
they
flagpole's
have
not tall enough.
also they have closed down the supply closet because a troll has been coming to steal environmental suits. This poor guy is like 12 less, 21 less.
Lock the door.
Lock the door. I will do a count later.
After this whole fiasco, I'm just going to gather up all of the fallen flags and just try to recombobulate them back into their suits, hopefully.
Yeah, there's enough. You get like 2 suits back.
Does the Soviet Union's flag stay up, at least?
Yeah, it's too short to have covered the guns.
Okay.
Because you made it shorter.
So I should like Cadmus directing the engineering team around the bridge.
Yeah, there's a couple of engineers over there working with the pilots. And all right, I think we're pretty much ready to take a test drive.
All right, let's make sure
button.
everybody's on board and get this bird in the air.
Throughout the ship, all crew outside of what the fuck was the name? The Hyperion? Well, no, it wasn't the Hyperion. It was Daedalus. Thank you. I forgot the name of my own spaceship. All crew outside Daedalus, please return to your stations. Close all hangar bay doors and airlocks. We're about to take off. So you all hear that wherever
Please
you're
tell
at.
me Matisse is still out there.
I'm assuming I can hear that.
Yeah, you
Because
hear it.
Yeah, I go inside.
Everyone goes inside. The hangar bay is closed down,
Just flies.
and you all feel this rumbling as the ship's engines fire off in unison, and it just slowly lifts into the air.
Is there perchance an information terminal around here?
Yeah. Yeah, you found
Okay.
one.
Darn, it's not going to work. Never mind.
Okay.
Is there paint on this ship?
No. That was not one of the necessities.
I'm going to start following Matisse
I'm
around
going to
just
begin
make
looking-
sure
Also,
he's
also,
destroyed.
you imagine that if there was paint on it, it would have probably solidified
Yeah.
at this point.
I'm going to look
Have
up
you
the
been recording this,
composition
by the way?
of paint.
I've been keeping track of what he's doing.
I'm going to
Have you been
look up the
recording it,
composition
though?
of paint and see if I can't fabricate
Yes.
something no one's looking.
Yeah.
The troll is now playing with the fabricator, basically.
I'm just going to make sure that people know what he's doing so that he's just not doing this when nobody knows.
So when the report comes in, I look to one of the engineers. Can we put a fabricator permissions hold on him and also a non-French, like a
Uninstall the French language settings. Boom, done.
Just like a no French ordinance, please.
Give me a persuasion roll.
I'm gonna keep an eye on what
That's
he's
going to
doing
be.
with the
That's going to be
Charisma and
charisma negotiation.
negotiation.
I don't feel like this is what your character was built for.
It's not,
And
but I've got 1 dot in the skill group,
And it uses your social limit. So
and my social limit is less than I'm rolling dice for. So
well, there you go.
hey, 1 success.
Once look at. We could probably just lock it up.
Just stop him from making French flags.
Right.
I'm trying to paint the ship in the French colors.
So you're looking it up, and there's not really any. The materials required for paint are very
handy.
specific, and it's not something that you can just throw random stuff into to make.
Yeah. Okay.
And while you're looking around the ship, trying to see if you can find anything, you do notice that Comrade, along with another pair of guards, come and hoist the unit up onto a hover truck and just on like a hover.
No, when I see
track,
Comrade, it's
and
like,
just push it along.
Comrade,
Ah, yes, Matisse.
you see what they did to the flag up there?
What flag up where?
The flag on the. I go with one of the camera feeds and show him.
There are no external camera feeds currently, not that show the actual ship itself.
Would it be on the bridge?
No, you wouldn't know, but you go and look.
I go pull up my trophy and I show him the brief moment where the French and Soviet flags were flying above the ship.
Yes, comrade, that is very pleasing. Yes. I see. Do you have the recording of the explosion?
Yes.
You see what you did there, comrade. It was blocking the gun ports. We cannot have the gun ports blocked. These.
Well, clearly the problem is that we make the flags bigger and
No,
go higher.
no, you need to make them shorter so they not cover the gun ports. You see.
That would have to.
Yes. We will eventually paint these the ship in the colors of all the flags of Deadlands, particularly, of course, the Soviet
Frankly,
flag. Yes.
there are only 2 important flags. We all know this.
It is true, but we are here for inclusion, and inclusion is important.
Yes, we can include everybody and France and the Soviet Union.
Yes, we put these 2 flags are large, all the other flags are
Go
much
inside.
smaller, like little building blocks.
Or
Yes.
alternatively, we can recognize the government has long since collapsed, but I'm sure that solution has long since faded away.
What madness you speak?
The government has collapsed, but the spirit lives on.
This is what happens when 2 nationalists meet.
And that's exactly the problem.
I like how
Walk away.
France and the Soviet
Face
Union have
palm.
formed an alliance.
What war was that? Anyways, so yeah, the ship is in the air, and it's a very unique feeling to all of you.
I think, basically, as soon as we've cleared ground and we're stable, there's just a round of cheers and applause in the bridge.
Oh yeah, throughout the ship, like there are cheers going up throughout the ship, even as people lock away the the fabricator unit in a cargo hold somewhere. Just put guards on it.
Let's be frank.
Oh,
If I
you are.
wanted to get to it,
You are Frank.
I mean, yes.
If you wanted to get to it, there's plenty of airlocks that we could fit you through.
It's true. But yeah, ship is in the air. All right. Well, we could set it back down, continue testing out the stress tests, or if we want to do one massive stress test, we can just push for the Deadlands.
What's the hull integrity looking like right now?
Holding stable. All of the repair patches are holding.
Give her a mile. See where we get.
All right. You all feel this push of gravity as the G-forces on you increase, as the ship turns and starts moving south. I think we are going to need to set down somewhere to fix the external cameras. All we've got is a forward feed currently. But it's working.
Find us a wide mesa to set down and put cameras up, and then we'll make it home. And then we'll make the home stretch.
All right. So while the ship's moving, what are the rest of you doing?
What's going on in the galley?
Not much. Most people are too busy working to cook, but there is food. There are food supplies there.
You gonna set up your own 5-star restaurant?
Yeah. No.
Give me a cooking roll.
I don't do cooking. But we do have, we still have some of that,
Knowledge culinary.
we still have some of that jerky left. We can use the fabricator on the jerky and make chocolate chip cookies.
That's not how that works.
They're both carbon-based.
You can't make chocolate chip cookies out of radiated beet or radiated venison.
I mean, carbon is carbon.
Yes.
Theoretically, you could turn graphite
break it
into
down.
cookies.
You could break it
No,
down.
you couldn't, because cookies have things other than carbon in them.
I mean, yes, but on the base level.
No, but they have things other than carbon.
Yes,
in them.
you could make a cookie-shaped disc of carbon, which would not be a cookie.
It'd be very burnt. But
It would be a cookie-shaped coal.
You can make coal, yes. You can turn any food you want into coal.
Or alternatively, just wait till Christmas, and then, all of you just look in your stockings.
No, Santa got hit with the bombs.
It's like Santa's still going around.
No.
Who targets the North Pole? I mean, come on.
South Korea, or North Korea, sorry.
North Korea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, North Korea.
or China, just for thoroughness. Or like some random country like Venezuela being like, we can be involved. Pew pew.
No, Venezuela, they wouldn't have the missile. They'd have to have
Maybe
missile range to
Venezuela
hit North Pole.
Greenland.
There you go.
Greenland goes to war.
Greenland goes to war with the North Pole. It's very short.
They're all riding reindeer.
I mean, you know, there are rumors that Santa might still be up and about, but he's definitely a zombie at this point.
I think that makes him like at least 50% cool.
Santa Claus.
Radiation Santa Claus. Radiation Santa Claus. Get him this Christmas for your kids. Anyways, after an hour or so, the ship does set down. So you guys still have time while they fix cameras.
Well, I mean, there's no way to obtain wine.
I mean, there is a garden on the ship
Oh, that's right.
that has grapes that you found and realized were actually really good wine grapes.
Let's run some scans on that.
Yeah,
Because I'm gonna see what I'm gonna see what the fabricator can do.
Well, Fabricator's locked up right now.
You cannot access the fabricator.
We need to get the fabricator.
I'm going to approach the bridge.
You approach the bridge.
I open the door.
You see engineers working.
I'm still sort of subtly kind of trying to follow him to make sure he's not doing terrible things. So.
Gilda, Cadmus.
Who's in charge up here?
It would be names. Why am I short on names? Harlan. Captain Harlan is here.
Helen, I have a request. I have noticed that you appear to have locked up the fabricator.
Yes, on the suggestion that perhaps we should wait until we get back to the Deadlands to test it to its full capabilities.
There was an experiment I was needing to try for with it.
Which is?
Well, I wanted to take some of the grapes that we have on here and some of the food rations we have and experiment with what the fabricator can do as far as producing food.
It's an industrial fabricator.
That is why it would be an experiment.
Well,
If
there's
he
a
gets
lot of people-
if he gets wine in the gears, and I have to fix it.
Give me a charisma negotiation check.
And if you succeed,
Can't roll less than one die.
And if you succeed this roll, you will be competing against my roll. I would like to see you try.
Give me a what are you trying to negotiate in the other direction, Cassio?
I'm going to try to negotiate.
I think you're trying to negotiate a nope.
At worst, this experiment will destroy the machine, possibly irreparably, the only machine of its kind that we have, and at best, we'll be able to change food that we already have. We won't even be producing food, we'll just be changing it unnecessarily. We have, well, larger issues to address.
Give me a negotiation charisma check.
As he rolls vastly more dice.
What did you roll, Austin?
I'm gonna have to spend an edge, I feel like. 'Cause, I mean, I rolled a success, and it's a 6.
Okay.
So let's break some limits and re-roll 6s and add my edge.
Reroll.
I did.
Any more successes?
Maybe not.
Okay, so 1 success. He could still roll no successes.
He didn't.
It's theoretical.
That was actually 4 successes. That was a terrible roll.
Would you like to spend?
But yeah, 4
Would you like to
successes.
spend an edge to break your limits and
Or to
reroll
reroll your
success?
failures.
Reroll the failures.
Actually, you know what? I don't want this thing. I don't want you to get away with things. So, you know what? I'm gonna super convince this guy. I'm not using my edge on anything else.
Yes.
Petty edge spending. That is what Final Show Films is known for.
8 successes.
We have the most inter-party conflict of any company I've ever seen, by the way.
It is the best.
Yes?
On all of our podcasts. On all of our
I'm
shows.
fairly convinced that we're not going to run into too much that we need our edge points for.
So,
Matisse was doing this
what'd you
all
roll?
the time. He's talking
8
about it.
successes.
Matisse, you're convinced it's a bad idea. You're like, you know, Cassio makes a lot of good points.
He's gonna turn around and walk out of the room.
Ron goes, no, that's actually a point.
I am completely
So-
amazed, Cassio. I don't know how you did that.
I forgot to even add my edge to that. Whoops.
Roll
You
extra.
only add it if you break your limits.
You only have
You were going for rerolling failures.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, at this point, I'm just...
They're like, I can't have an argument to that.
Yeah.
There is a wine press in the kitchen.
So
though.
far, Cassio is the only person in this party left that Matisse has any respect for.
It's true.
I am completely amazed that you managed to pull that one off, Cassio. I have a new level of respect for you.
Glad somebody can stay sane here.
Like, I already had a great deal of respect for you for trying
I
to
like
preserve
that the person
good aspects of history.
in the flight cap and the aviators is the one saying someone can remain sane here. Do you repair to the cafeteria and make wine the old-fashioned way?
Are there any other scanners on this ship? I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of there were scanners.
Yeah, there's data scanners. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna run some scans just on the food stuff that we have, just to see what these rations are even made of. Because
Sure.
I don't think anyone knows.
Yeah. The rations that are on the ship still,
Yeah.
or the rations that were brought with the Deadlands folks.
Yes.
Both. Okay. Yeah. So you get
Matisse is very big into that whole free range organic nonsense.
give me a
Well, I hate to tell you, it's all preservatives.
give me a biology knowledge roll.
It kind of has to still be around.
I mean, I can roll logic.
All right.
Minus 1
Do you
die.
have any logic skills, any knowledges related to biochemistry or anything like that?
Food and wine.
Give me a knowledge, food, and wine. Logic, knowledge, food, and wine.
Slightly less knowledge about food than I am about wine, so...
Well, this is more food than wine because you're looking at the
yeah, I know.
the rations.
3 successes.
Well, it's definitely processed.
Yes, that's a given.
Yeah. Lots of preservatives.
I'm guessing chemical preservatives as opposed to just lots of salt and drying.
Yeah, chemical preservatives. The rations that come from the Deadlands appear to be some form of, you hope, rat meat. It's green. Might be goblin. You hope rat, though.
You hope rat meat. Always good.
Yeah.
No, we're having the Green Goblin.
No.
I'm guessing the ones on the ship are some sort of like
He has
processed,
pumpkin bombs. Come on.
reprocessed.
We are.
Or what's it?
We are not
denatured.
eating. We are not eating Willem Dafoe.
I'm guessing the ones
He's not healthy for you
from the ships are
How do you
renatured
know?
because
proteins.
it's Willem Dafoe. Yeah, no. The stuff from the ship you look at is sort of compressed. Is compressed various like protein blocks that will last centuries, basically, without rotting.
They have so far.
And they have. They probably have very little to no taste. They are just like raw nutrients in a block form.
And I'm gonna go ahead and scan while I'm at it the garden just to see what we've got in here.
The garden that the folks that had been sort of taken up residence here prior to the little old French girl, the German Nazi witch. They seem to have a garden of vegetables that were grown as best they could in the clean soil of the biolabs on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Tomatoes, carrots, potatoes, grapes. They had actually a French, like a very good French breed of grape that they had brought with them. And they also had stores of salted meats from various hunts that they had done previously.
Okay. So I'm just going to work on some... I'm assuming this garden's been well maintained since.
Yes. Yeah, it was well maintained up to the point that you guys got to it, and then you haven't left it long enough for it to be gone out of repair.
I'm going to work on the maintenance stuff. I don't want to harvest yet because when we get to the Deadlands, we have to replant and rebuild.
Yep. All right. So
Matisse can be a patient man.
You're maintaining the garden.
Shock.
Anyone else doing anything?
In the name of France, I can be patient.
These grapes have to survive.
Yes.
It's the last remaining French wine.
I guess still going, like, I'll be exploring the ship, sort of. I assume there's plenty of people still figuring out what exactly are in all the rooms and what exactly this.
Oh yeah, they have definitely gotten the ship-wide transport working better. So like the little seat thing that you guys rode from the cockpit back to the hangar, that is now working throughout the ship. So you can get anywhere you want, and yeah, there's lots of stuff that is still being studied, being checked. They got the primary, they got the thrusters and the hull repaired first, and the guns repaired first to get it out of the ground. And then after that, they... I don't know why two of my players are having competing ponytail offs, but...
It's because the third of your players got his ponytail cut off and can't play that game anymore.
I wouldn't have played that game to begin with, so...
Yes, but now you can't, so it's a moot point.
Now it's amusing.
I mean,
I
can do that
have,
too.
so it's a moot point.
Yeah,
Ours
no.
are longer than yours, John.
Again, mine's also... Like I said, I've got this sort
Ours
of...
also look
I've
better.
got this sort of princely mane going on that's,
As
pretty
long
nice.
as you don't email me asking for money.
I am not, nor have I ever been Nigerian.
Making sure.
Although I am probably very close in colorization to the actual people that send those emails.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah. Ian, are you still entertaining yourself, or are you
just
making
gonna run
food?
around and just meander around, see what's open doors.
I'm
Lots of rooms. There's lots of room in this place. Not a lot survived the initial impact, but there are storage rooms, there are bedrooms, there are entertainment lounges. It looks like they had a pool at one point. It's empty. How they managed to maintain the pool in outer space, you're not certain, but you're pretty certain it was artificial gravity. Although, a free-floating pool in outer space might also be fun.
Could be.
Or really easy to drown in.
I mean, yeah. Actually, no, it'd be less easy to drown in, because as you push it away, it just goes away. It doesn't come back.
part of it goes away. The rest of it sticks to your face.
Yeah, the thing about
Just
water in
gotta blow.
space is it sticks to things.
That's
Like
fair.
you'd have to manually start pulling it away from
Just
your face.
clawing water off your face. That'd be
You
funny
just
as
make
hell,
a
actually.
screen like this and just...
You need to watch some videos of water in space. It's weird.
Sounds amazing.
Lots of things in space are weird. Anyways. So, after a few more hours, they get the external cameras back on, and several people in the cockpit go, "What the hell is this?" As you see
The Soviet flag still
the
up.
Soviet flag and French flag on the side of the ship, the French flag having been blown out at the bottom where the gun shot through it.
This is why we locked up the fabricator.
Should have locked up the Frenchman.
I'll be honest, I was hoping for that next step, but
Well, we'll clear that out when we get to the Deadlands, Harlan says, looking over at Comrade, who shrugs. Like, what? Seems like a good idea to me. National pride is something important to survivors in this post-apocalyptic world.
there aren't any nations left.
Not yet. And certainly not with that attitude.
Honestly, I think nations are a bad idea. I think we kind of need to be one world.
One
I
nation.
agree.
One nation, under Comrade.
Not only is that not a
Harlan just sort of
I think
covers his mouth so that you can't see him laughing.
I get the feeling that while Comrade gets a lot of respect and does a lot of things, I don't think he actually makes a lot of decisions that are.
No.
Yeah. He's allowed a free reign because he can handle certain things that need to be handled, and that's about it. He's like Vader. He just gets a pet dog.
Not a bad example, actually. So yeah. After a couple hours, the ship takes off. Starts heading back towards the Deadlands. Eventually, it settles down once more, parked just outside the Deadlands. You all come off the ship along with the rest of the crew, and the fabricator unit is hauled off as well. Harlan looks at the group of you. Well, you single-handedly, over the course of a couple months, managed to take Operation Utopia from a dim hope in the future at best to a reality very soon.
Of course, we got France involved.
For which you are all thanked very much.
Yay.
You can take a well-earned vacation while we set about building our future. It'll be a while, but we will eventually have cities again. And we'll have something resembling a life. Those of you that don't want to be hunters can retire. And it's all thanks to you guys.
well. My mission hopefully has only just begun now.
As he pulls open his shirt to reveal the Superman logo. We will need that suit, by the way, for our research.
Absolutely. I hope to never need it again.
Well, let's hope you don't. Well, thank you guys for serving the Deadlands Hunters Society.
I like, by the way, Zachary, that you've alluded to the fact that you are the only one of the five of us even remotely fit to be in actual politics or government.
Yeah, that's my goal right now. Make sure that none of the four of you ever get involved in any kind of position that resembles authority. Because now, some of you might be respected as heroes. As long as you're not respected for your opinions, I'm happy.
I mean, the only thing that Kairos would want authority over is manufacturing.
So, over
You
the
do
next
your engineering, you do your Frenching.
over the next few months, the Deadlands Hunters Society, and Deadlands in particular, builds itself up into a city. They also take the manufacturer, the fabricator, and take it out to Rome to help build a sister city there as well in Vatican. Over the next few years, several such cities pop up all across Europe and North America and South America and Africa, Asia as well, where this ability to now actually mass produce things allows for several satellite cities and stations to pop up and become cities of their own. It's not back to the way it was by any stretch of the meaning it will ever be, but we're now more of a city-state than just a huddled mass of survivors. And so, with the end of the Deadlands Hunters Society, when we come back after our next couple of campaigns, we will see what life is like in the Restoration Zone, as we look at a potentially different group of people, maybe a couple of the same people, with life after the Hunters, but in a new city and civilization. That's been the end of DHS. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back to have effectively episode 0 of Worldfire. Austin's going to take my place in the chair here, and we're going to talk about what's coming up next, our plans for the future, and what we're going to be changing around. The overlay is going to be the same because I don't have a new overlay yet, but we'll be back to talk about Worldfire in just a few minutes. So go ahead and stretch your legs, get a drink, get food, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. So, bye. On break. So yeah, when we come, I should turn off the mics.